Aldi is buying out Winn-Dixie. Let's discuss. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another Coffee Rant with Dano. Today, we are still drinking the Universal Dark Roast coffee. Nobody seems to know the name of it, but that's okay. It's pretty good. It has got me by. If you have to hit pause on this video, go ahead and do so now, as this will be a lengthy discussion. So, let's get into it here. So yes, Aldi is buying out Winn-Dixie. There have been a lot of questions on the channel. We have a lot of upset Floridians on the channel here, as when 75% of Winn-Dixie stores are here in Florida. There are some in Georgia, Louisiana, and Mississippi, but 75% of Winn-Dixie is here in Florida, and rightfully so. Floridians seem to be the most upset about it. We're looking at some of the stuff on NOLA, N-O-L-A website here. It seems to be the one website that knows most about this going on here. They go on to say Aldi is buying Winn-Dixie, and that will mean some changes for customers. Yes, what are some of these changes that people fear? One is you may have to bag your own groceries. Now, we're going to go on to read a little bit here of where that may not be the case, but a lot of people don't like to have to bag their own groceries, especially when, you're paying, top dollar to get your groceries and stuff. I do agree with that. I think it's a little ridiculous, but let's go on here. The discount grocery chain Aldi, with a growing presence in South Mississippi and the New Orleans metro, announced Wednesday that it plans to acquire the more traditional Winn-Dixie and its larger supermarkets from Jacksonville-based Southeastern grocers. In this deal, Aldi is also acquiring Harvey's, another Southeastern chain with stores in Florida. This deal is expected to close in early of 2024. Okay, and they go on to say what will happen to Winn-Dixie stores. We'll go over a little bit of this here. I do have my own opinions of this that we'll save here toward the end. Winn-Dixie has had a familiar red and white storefront design and logo for decades. The Germany-based Aldi said it would keep the Winn-Dixie name on about 400 Winn-Dixie and Harvey supermarkets that is buying in Florida, with an unspecified number facing conversion. So, it's like this is the constant thing that we always hear is, well, we're going to do this, but don't believe anything. Take everything we read here with a grain of salt. I believe that Aldi is going to take more control of this than I think we realize or they want to admit here at first, so keep that in mind. Most Winn-Dixie supermarkets, they go on to say 75% are in Florida, with others in Georgia, Louisiana, and Mississippi. 75% in Florida, though. Keep that in mind. The Mississippi coast has stores in Long Beach, Gulfport, Ocean Springs, and Picayune. I feel like I destroyed that. P-I-C-A-Y-U-N-E. They say, will Winn-Dixie stores become Aldi stores? I'm sure they will. I'm sure they're going to, in more ways than just one. They go on to say, quote, we are evaluating which locations will convert to the Aldi format to better support the neighborhoods we will now have the privilege of serving, CEO Jason Hart says in a statement to the Miami Herald. He also goes on to say, for those stores we do not convert, our intention is that these continue to operate as Winn-Dixie and Harvey supermarket stores. In my opinion, we're definitely going to see significant changes in all of them. I don't believe that they're going to stay. I know there's been rumors that they will, but as we go on here, there's things that they talk about that kind of make me think otherwise. So let's. Jason Hart told CNN a significant amount, quote, of Winn-Dixie stores will convert to the Aldi format, meaning the ways that they do things at Aldi are going to probably be most of the ways they do things at Winn-Dixie. I don't know. I can see why there's a lot of growing concern with this, though, because, Aldi, as to where I like Aldi, and you might like Aldi, there are a lot of people who love Winn-Dixie, and I know there's nothing we can do about it as we go along and prices keep going up and changes and everything else. We're going to see more and more things like this. You know, I mean, look, Kroger is buying out Albertsons and Safeway. I don't think I've read one good comment about that. I can see where it could be beneficial for Kroger's in some way and Albertsons and Safeway, as long as they keep the integrity of Albertsons and Safeway there. Don't know if that's going to happen. Only time will tell. Looks like this is going to happen significantly quicker than the Kroger and Albertsons buying out Albertsons and all that. Anyway, they go on to say that can mean a different product mix or design for Aldi. The stores are sized differently. Aldi stores average around 22,000 square feet, as to where Winn-Dixie stores are much larger, averaging around 48,000 square feet, according to industry newsletter Grocery Dive. Aldi has several options, including subleasing space inside converted Winn-Dixie stores. So if Aldi, Aldi will own this, and if they want to cut the space down to save money whichever way they can, to just convert into their products, maybe take the products that Winn-Dixie has. One thing I want to say here that Aldi does, okay, and you can say this for most supermarkets, but Aldi, all the meat and produce are locally brought in, right? All the produce and meat is locally brought in. So hopefully they're at least going to be using the same farmers and everything that Winn-Dixie has used. Hopefully the quality is still there, because I know a lot of people love the quality of meat at Winn-Dixie and some of the produce and some of the prices. That's another thing we can talk about here. Winn-Dixie offers a lot of deals every week. It's another store that can be traditionally expensive to buy when not on sale, but in a way they're sort of like Kroger, where their sales are really good on the things they do have. Now, Aldi has great regular prices, but never as great of sales of things. You know, it kind of makes me a little uneasy to think about this, because when they get bigger and bigger and bigger, there's more prices, there's more employees, there's more things to pay. Prices will go up. You know, I don't know. Only time will tell on that, but a lot of you guys out here were wanting me to cover this. I wanted to wait until we knew all the information, until we knew it was actually going down, before I started talking about it. I know this was a week or so ago that they had mentioned this, but wanted to do a little bit of research. Okay, one big question here that we've gotten on the channel here, and I see right here, is will your groceries be bagged at the register? This is a big thing. A lot of people don't want to have to bag their own groceries. One way Aldi cuts cost is bagging, or rather not bagging. You do it yourself at Aldi, and also pay a deposit to use a shopping cart. At converted Winn-Dixie stores in 2024, expect the Aldi experience. I like the way they put that, because it's kind of putting that subtly as, oh yeah, it's going that way. You're going to have to pay a deposit on your cart, probably, right? But I mean, in a way, that's kind of like, excuse me, in a way, it's kind of disruptive, because it's like, well, those are the two things that people hate. Having to put a quarter in your cart, and then not, you know, I know at our Aldi, we only have one cashier now. They're all self-checkout. They're all self-checkout. Let us know down in the comments if your Aldis have been like that as well. Do they? I know some Aldi don't even have cashiers anymore. They don't even have the one. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. I know it's all going that direction. It says the company hasn't said what will happen. The company hasn't said what will happen at stores operating under the Winn-Dixie banner in 2024 and beyond. So they literally just took back what they said at the beginning. And this was kind of what upset me about this, is that it's like, okay, so you're drawing people in, all the Winn-Dixie fans, but you're throwing there at the end of the paragraph for the next article that, well, this could happen, it could not, we don't know. I got news for you. If you don't own it anymore, you can't say nothing. If Aldi is not responding to this, you know, this is basically Winn-Dixie trying to, like, say, oh, no, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. But in the same sentence, you're saying, well, no, the restructure will be different, right? Because that's what it's looking like. You know, so, and we've gotten hundreds and hundreds of comments on this. So believe me, I feel so bad. You know, we don't have Winn-Dixie where we live, but I know that it's kind of like your Kroger here down in Florida. So I wanted to discuss this because, you know, people talk bad about Kroger and everything, but I say this in a lot of videos. Kroger is the most expensive store to shop at where you can save the most money. And we have heard that about Winn-Dixie as well. What do I mean by that is that, yes, the prices are expensive when they're set at a regular price, but if you buy up the sales as you go along and only buy the sales, you can really save a lot of money. Even more probably than what it would be at Aldi. The lighting's a little messed up there. Let me draw that in there. There we go. Is that better? Nope. Well, it's going to have to do today. Okay, so they talk about the loyalty cards. Apparently, like the loyalty cards at Winn-Dixie, people are asking if they'll be able to use them in 2024. An Aldi spokesperson said in an email response to the Miami Herald, quote, Aldi and Southeastern grocers will continue to operate independently until the transaction closes. We will share more information as it becomes available following the finalization of the transaction, which we expect to be in the first half of 2024. So my guess is by not saying anything, everything that you think and hope would stay is probably going to be going out the door. So who knows? We don't know, but the fact that they're not saying that is making you want to hang on by a thread until it actually goes through. Okay, and then they say what happens to the Winn-Dixie brands. Okay, so Aldi and Southeastern grocers will continue to operate independently until the transaction closes. They basically say the same thing, except after the transition in 2024, except Aldi products in the converted Winn-Dixie locations. So some people were saying, I don't know if this was coming from what people were reading about this, but people were saying, there we go. We'll just get the sun out of the eyes there. Is that better? Okay. So people were saying that they were hoping that some of the products of Winn-Dixie, like their store brand products, would stay. I think some of them will, but I think some of them are going to kind of dissipate. Or, you know, we don't know that for a fact, but the way they keep mentioning this, it does look like Aldi is going to start bringing in probably a lot of their products. I mean, why wouldn't they? They're saving money on their own products. They're going to be bringing a lot of that stuff in. The thing that I question is, for a store that is traditionally 22,000 square feet, you're adding 48,000 square feet. So when they brought up the subsidizing space for places, yes, probably half of that store is going to be a Spirit Halloween or something, or another way that they can rent it out to places that aren't going to be around a lot. You know, like, Spirit Halloween, I know that sounds funny, but that could be exactly what their plan is, to subsidize part of this to another company for a little while and then just keep moving in companies so that they can basically pay their rent or pay their mortgage for the property while they're still able to run their business. Now, it doesn't say here, but apparently this the conversion they were saying before that we read about a couple weeks ago was supposed to be over 400 stores. Okay, we know that that the target is 400 stores. It's going to be all of them. I do not see why would they not? It's going to be under their name. If they keep the Winn-Dixie name, which I hope they do, you know, because some people were saying a lot of the Winn-Dixie stores were going to stay Winn-Dixie. I don't know. I mean, I hope so for everybody that loves Winn-Dixie, but it just, I don't know. It's one of them things. They're not saying anything about it, so we don't know anything, but we will continue to update everyone on this stuff as it comes along. They go on to Southeastern grocers. What do they have to say? They go on to some of the history here. This is a quote from, let's see, Meredith Hurley. Okay, so Meredith Hurley is the Southeastern Grocer Senior Director of Communications, who was talking to the Miami Herald as well, saying, quote, we understand this news surely raises questions. However, we cannot comment or speculate. Sure. We cannot comment or speculate on any forward-looking strategies or initiatives at this time. For customers, nothing changes today. So The fact that you're even saying that nothing changes today, well, of course, because the deal's not going through until early 2024, so nothing has changed today. Even if you bought it out, well, there's things that have to be done. There's papers that need to be signed. It's not like one of them things where you just buy it today and then it's over. I mean, it could be, over in a snap. I sure hope not, but all of our Winn-Dixie lovers out there, it would be a good time to start stocking up on some of your favorite products, anything that you can save money at Winn-Dixie, some of your favorite meats, if you have extra freezer space, might be a good idea to stock up on some of these things, because the not knowing is the knowing that you need to make sure that you have the things that you like, otherwise you may miss out. But she goes on to say, quote, Southeastern grocers will continue to offer customers the same great savings, benefits, and programs to deliver an excellent shopping experience and value for our customers as we remain committed to conducting business as usual until closing. More information will be shared on future plans as it's available. Well, yes, I hope they do. I hope they plan on sharing that information sooner than later, because there's thousands of people that are concerned, and that's just on our channel. That's just on our YouTube channel here. Not the millions of people that this is going to involve. And that's the end of that article, and now we're going to discuss some of my opinion. And again, this is just my opinion, so take it for what you will. Don't believe anything they ever say. They're getting ready to sell this company. Everybody out there who thinks that they're going to stay the same, they may for a little while as we transition, right? Because you're buying the name. They may still carry the products that you like. They may still carry the canned goods and stuff of their store brand and all that, but at the same time, they might not. So if there's anything cheap products or good quality that you get out of Winn-Dixie, I know, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of the different meat products, they have a lot of different meat deals at Winn-Dixie that are really worth buying up on. May want to start looking into stocking up on some of those things sooner than later, because I never, being in this kind of business for the last few years, seeing how things change, seeing things come and go, it seems like this article right here of them quoting these things seems like they are just postponing the inevitable, wanting you to keep coming and shopping at Winn-Dixie, not to boycott them because of this. I know there's a lot of people who are upset by this. It could be some good things. We've grown to really like Aldi over the last few years. Aldi has some great products. For them buying out this much, though, I will say this, and here's my opinion of it. I don't see a place like Aldi buying out 400, or buying it all out, but 400 stores of conversion to Aldi ways. Yes, things like the carts will probably change, where you got to put a deposit in the cart. Things like the registers may change, where you have to bag your own groceries, and yeah, that stinks. But as far as the products, I don't see them really getting rid of a lot, because Aldi, I don't know if they have the ability to be able to fill that many stores with just Aldi products. And I mean, we still see them building Aldi stores all over the place. For them to buy out a store, this is what I said about Albertsons also. I know people love Albertsons and Safeway. I don't see Kroger completely, yeah, you'll see Kroger products in the stores, but I don't see them getting rid of some of the Albertson name products, some of the Safeway name products. Same with Aldi. I don't see them getting rid of all of the different Winn-Dixie store name products. So, we'll just have to see how it plays out. But again, a lot of you guys were wanting me to do a video on this. It is disturbing. I'll tell you right now, if Kroger was to get bought out, I would be a little uneasy with that. If Aldi was to buy out Kroger, yeah, I'd be a little discouraged. I mean, as much as Kroger is, gotten so expensive and everything, I love Kroger. You guys know that we love Kroger. It's probably where we do most of our shopping. Again, most of the sales of things, most of the places where we save money are Kroger. And I know a lot of you guys, especially Floridians, 75% of the ownership of Winn-Dixie here in Florida, I can see where you're upset. And hopefully Hopefully things work out the best way they can, but again, I wouldn't wait around. It is September 2023. Doesn't look like this deal will go through at least until early 2024, but I wouldn't wait around. If you have some of your favorite Winn-Dixie products that you want to buy, I would go ahead and jump on it and buy them now. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope it helps. Have a great night.